So, Reservation Dogs just had its season finale on Hulu. And I guess there's really nothing better to pair with dumb money in this video. From creators Sterling Harjo and Taika Waititi, it's a comedy drama about a group of Native American teenagers growing up on a reservation. In my video on Prey, I was going to mention this show in a sort of Hulu apparently really likes making stories about Native Americans type of way. But I forgot. So I guess now I'll say Hulu apparently really likes making stories about Native Americans. This is a step forward for representation of them in the media. But of course that doesn't mean shit if the show is good, and thankfully this show is good. It has a focus on regular life. While there are overarching arcs throughout the whole show, each episode is a self-contained story. They move kind of slowly, but it isn't boring because it has relatable characters and humor, and it all wraps up in a way that's always satisfying and at times even moving. It also doesn't hurt that each episode is only about half an hour. It's rarely hilarious, but it's funny in a more subtle way, and the drama is top-notch. And it ended with a season that's pretty much as good as the other two. It wraps up the characters' arcs and ends with an episode that is effectively bittersweet. I admit, I don't really have much else to say about it. If you clicked on this video solely for Reservation Dogs, I'm sorry. But the point is, this is a really good show. An interesting coming-of-age saga that went out as great as it started.
There's one. There's another one. And another one.
Get more than you ever imagined when you trade your games for something new at GameStop, where 150 titles are worth $15 or more. Power to the players.
Dumb Money is from Craig Gillespie, director of Lars and the Real Girl, I, Tonya, and Cruella. It was written by Lauren Shucker Blum and Rebecca Angelo, two staff writers of Orange is the New Black, and based on the non-fiction book The Anti-Social Network by Ben Mesrick. It's about the incident a few years ago when a bunch of internet investors made GameStop stock huge to stick it to the hedge fund managers who bet against it. Yes, there's already a movie about that. Sort of like a Big Short type of thing, like if the Big Short ended the way we all wish it did. No, I don't care how much money the main guys would have lost if the economy didn't crash. It centers mostly around Roaring Kitty, the YouTuber and Redditor who started the whole movement, played by Paul Dano in his second role as an internet guy trying to stick it to the rich. But it also focuses on a lot of other characters and subplots about investors, GameStop employees, and the billionaire hedge fund managers who lost a lot of money because of all this. Told with a great cast of recognizable names. Seth Rogen plays a hedge fund manager because, of course he does. There's no way somebody of his star power could play the little guy in a film like this. Because this is a story about sticking it to the man. The marketing focuses on that aspect, and that's what you get here. A David and Goliath story right from the middle of a Redditor's basement. The hedge fund people aren't really completely evil, but they sure as hell aren't sympathetic. It doesn't ignore that the Wall Street Bets subreddit may have a racism problem, but it keeps it tastefully out of the way enough that it doesn't take away from the noble cause. Like The Big Short, its reliance on knowledge about the stock market is a little bit of a hindrance, but it doesn't get too deep into the more confusing stuff. Honestly, The Big Short was probably more confusing than this. It's a fun, energetic movie with some decent comedic moments and some well-placed needle drops. And the story itself is told in an interesting way. In maybe the last 45 minutes or so, you really start to feel how much bigger the rich people are than our heroes. It's an above-average movie that criticizes the wealth gap, but in a rebellious, cathartic kind of way. And what's better is that it's all true. Power to the players indeed. It's a fun movie which deserves better than it got.
How much did we lose today?
$1 billion.
And yesterday?
$1 billion.
Okay, I know the budget was $30 million, but I wanted to use that footage. Just let me have this.